Dzień dobry from a very foggy Gorzów Wielkopolski here in western Poland. Right behind me we have some kind of a viewpoint which hopefully we'll be checking out later on, but currently it is closed. And right now I'm just going to be heading towards the old town here in Gorzów Wielkopolski. First impressions of Gorzów Wielkopolski is that it's quite a noisy city. There's a lot of traffic, there's trains, there's cars everywhere. A lot noisier even than like Krakow or something like that. And as you can see right in front we have this, which I believe is a church that's just off the side of the old town, the Stare Miasto of Gorzów Wielkopolski. So here's the church that I was just showing you. A little bit of a closer look at the church. Cool pattern design on the front door of the church, although I'm sure it's probably closed. Let's give it a little try. Oh, they're doing a service. I'm gonna leave it. I was kind of hoping it would be locked, but they're doing a service. I don't want to interrupt that. Anyway, we'll walk on and make our way to the old town. And here's another thing about Gorzów Wielkopolski. In this time of year, I've already slipped like 20 times. I've not slipped over on my ass yet, but I feel like I'm going to at some point because it's got loads of cobblestones on the floor. And each one of these little cobblestones is pretty much sheeted with ice on top, and it kind of makes it like into one big ice rink. Okay guys, so here is the Stare Miasto here in Gorzów Wielkopolski. First looks of the old town, unlike others, it only really goes across that way, there, with a fountain there. And it does obviously go around here as well, but there's a street that runs through it just here with the loud tram that you can hear over there in the background. So it's only really like half of the square. And then obviously we've got this big church right here as well, which is quite a cool looking building. But unlike other squares that I've been to, where it's kind of been all four sides, this one is weirdly only like two sides of a square, and then it just continues as a street up there where the tram's going. So slightly different, although I will say still very beautiful. If you're looking at this row of buildings right there, I think all the shops are still closed because we're only about 7:30 in the morning currently. And also we have this beautiful fountain over here as well, which has a woman with a couple of buckets, so she's hard at work, and you got some children around her as well who are also doing some kind of work, a small boat, and then you got on either side a tortoise. So that's pretty interesting. And right here we have, again, very icy, very slippery, like marble floor. I, again, almost stepped on that. I'm gonna fucking kill myself before the day's out, I think. So this is it for Gorzów Wielkopolski Old Town. Let's explore some of the side streets and see what we can discover here in Gorzów Wielkopolski. As this street still goes down, yet again, very nice looking buildings. The faces of all these buildings are very beautiful with the architecture, with the design, and also just with the cleanliness as well. Like, it just looks really nice. So just down the road from the old town, we have all these buildings here, which are in quite a state of repair. Gives the city a lot of character when you see a lot of buildings that are kind of falling to pieces. And it's really cool actually to see stuff like this because you don't know why it's the case. You don't know if it's from, for example, World War II era in general, or you don't know if it's from some other hardship or whatever in life that they may have experienced. Maybe it's just that Gorzów is just not as well off financially as other cities that are, you know, a lot more cleaner, a lot more finished off and polished with the faces of their buildings. Obviously, we have a couple buildings in the old town that are, you know, very well preserved, but then we've got all of these over here, which are just showing signs of real wear and tear. I will say though, I never get tired of this kind of a view in a Polish city. Big open street with the tram lines going down, the trams going by. There's something about it that just looks really nice and clean in my opinion. And this street is a lot more nicer than what we just went down, and to be fair, that was like one of the back streets, so it probably isn't a fair representation to judge so much or whatever. And I wasn't really judging, but like it's nice to see character in a city rather than just everything always being like super polished off. As you can see, there's a lot of like graffiti and rundown buildings in general. As soon as you come off of the Old Town Square, which is just there, in any back street, there's just a little bit worse off. And yet you can still see the different coloured buildings, which just adds a splash of vibrance to the place and to the city. And again, gives it some kind of a unique look, just like with every other city, rather than just everything being grey or just all one solid colour. It just makes it look nicer. Right behind me, we have quite the landmark. We have an historic defensive wall that was built in the 14th century to defend the city of Gorzów Wielkopolski. At one point, this wall surrounded the entire city of Gorzów Wielkopolski. However, due to expansion of the city in the 18th and 19th century, this wall was slowly dismantled until now. Today, we only have this part of the wall left. So this is the other end of the wall that remains today. As we walk down, all the way down there, it's probably like a minute or two walk. Quite a lot of the wall still remains compared to, for example, the ghetto wall that I saw back in Krakow, where you only have like a small section in comparison to this. This is still quite significant in regards to how much remains. And we walk around the other side of the wall, and this side is harder to see the wall because you've got this nice little park area right here where there are just trees lining the wall. Dzień dobry. I think she was a little perplexed by the camera, I'm not sure. Right. Over here you can see the wall better, to be fair, from this side. But at certain parts it is definitely covered by the trees. But you can kind of get an idea of the scale as I walk a little bit further away from it. There's still a lot of the wall that remains to this day. So right here, just literally a 5-minute walk from the old town here in Gorzów, we have this very nice, peaceful, serene park. Nice little river running through it, and just in general, like a nice little green area yet again here in Poland. I love how every city just has one of these really wide open space green areas for people to do as they wish, get away from the noise, and for them to walk their dogs, ride their bike, go rollerblading, whatever they want to do in an open space like this. They have that option because it's just such a big area to explore, as you can see here. And there's also right in front of me like a really big area for kids to play in the park. It's not just some tiny shit park, it's actually a decent sized park for your children to play in while you maybe go and do whatever you need to do, have a walk around the park or whatever. So far this park has been a really nice view at the naturey side of Gorzów Wielkopolski, and I've got to say I'm quite impressed with this park. I think we can spin these round and it will give other images, but I don't want to mess up with that because it looks quite uniform, so we'll just walk around. On this side we have various images from Gorzów Wielkopolski, different buildings. I've already seen a couple of these buildings as we've been walking around. Right here we have a little naturey house for, I believe, bees, if I'm not mistaken, to nest in and obviously do their thing. Over here we have what looks to be a frozen lake once again here in Poland. Let's go and check out the frozen lake, because it looks like it's also got an island in the middle as well, and that looks pretty cool. See, who says that Gorzów Wielkopolski isn't beautiful? Look at this. And it just goes to show once again how cold it is here in Poland, with all the water being solidly frozen over. Just like the frozen lake we saw in Kudowy, I can imagine the ice to be like this thick or probably thicker. It's just a crazy and kind of really cool sight to see, because it's not like this all year round, obviously. Like, it's only like this for a certain part of the year. So I've come at a decent time to see lakes like this in kind of a unique state, where during the winter they're kind of frozen over. In the summer, obviously, they'll be nice and watery, you know, in the normal water state. So yeah, it's just really cool to see it in this state. And there are a lot of crows. What the fuck? Shut up. Right here we have a board that tells you what to feed ducks and what not to feed ducks. You can feed them things like corn, grapes, salad, rice, oats, worms, but they don't want bread or other baked goods, popcorn, chips, So the city and council of Gorzów Wielkopolski looking after the wildlife here in this wonderful, beautiful and mysterious park, as the fog is still very much with us. Was hoping that the fog would be gone by now, as it's a little bit later in the day. It's currently almost 9 o'clock in the morning. It's still very foggy. It's been foggy for the last couple of hours as I've been walking around the city. It may just be a foggy day in general, who knows. But so far, my journey up here, more northwestern part of Poland, from the Christ the King statue, from Zielona Góra north, it's just been foggy, pretty much my experience here. So it may just be something that they experience a lot here in the northwestern part of Poland in this, winter time of year. So right here we have a little platform area next to the frozen lake. Okay, so that was a little look at the park here in Gorzów Wielkopolski. What a nice, beautiful park that was. Right there is the lake that we were just looking at, and the park overall. Really nice area. I can imagine in the summertime for it to be really nice. We've got like a little bandstand area just there, loads of seating areas, nice little statues in the water that I just saw. Ducks all down below just chilling, doing their thing. Yeah, overall this is a really nice area, even in this time of year in the winter, but let alone I can imagine in the summer for it to be a lot nicer. Talking about ducks, look how many ducks are here just chilling. Well guys, Gorzów Wielkopolski has been quite a fascinating city to look around. I've really enjoyed some of the sights that we've seen today, but I think that's all that's open. I wanted to go up the view tower that I showed off at the beginning of the video. Unfortunately, it doesn't open till 12 and I'll be gone by then. I want to finish off the video by showing you my hotel room, and then that'll be it for the video. So thank you guys for watching, and until next time, peace out. Guys, before I leave Gorzów Wielkopolski, let me show you my hotel room, of course. So right in front of me, we have the entrance, my desk with all of my electrical bits and bobs, my laptop transferring footage over, and next to it we have the bed. We've got a little desk where I'm laying my luggage, and that's about it for this room. Picture wardrobe. The bed's only a single bed, that's all I need, and we haven't really got much of a view out here because it is nighttime. That's the view that we have. Very nice. Okay, so through here we also have the bathroom. I'll turn this on. Oh, this is a nice bathroom. Obviously, you know what's what: toilet, shower, sink and mirror. This is really nice. This is a spacious bathroom as well. It's about as big as the other room, as the room that I have to actually sleep in. So this is actually one of the better bathrooms I've had in the whole trip here in Poland, probably in all of my stays in Poland. Most probably one of the best bathrooms. I'm very impressed with this. I quite like the white goods, the ceramic white with the ceramic sink and the white shower tray. I don't know, it just looks nice. And then we've got like a wooden effect, flooring, tiles, and yeah, overall, good bathroom. And overall, a good room. And with the room tour completed, that will finish up today's vlog here in Gorzów Wielkopolski. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Until then, take care, have a great day, and peace out.